Young like a blunt to the wind. Life's dark like the sky when the sun wasn't in. Like in a car crash, the kids all pass. Is it God or the devil causing all that? Pause and solve that. Tell me, was it God or the devil in the alcohol? Taking harbor, oh, I'm martyr, killed for his beliefs. Was it God or the devil that choked him in his sleep? I wrote God and the devil rolled back, so I called for a demon and an angel showed up. Now when I make hits like I'm Sammy Sosa, is it Jehovah or Lucifer playing poker? But I oppose that, me and God are kosher, but I got the devil in my sleeve saying so what? It's me and what I wrote ya. I think it's all goodwill, who knows? Maybe it's the devil making moves still. Are you harder to bring my fire? Devil, I see truth in the speak of a liar. Devil, God, are you harder to bring my fire? Devil, I see truth in the speak of a liar. Devil, truth in the speak of a liar. Dead men tell no tales full of bills, cause bills suck life, superstition of a still. Pissing on a mill, cause the devil's in the silk of a man who lost to a handful of pills. But what if that man's death was a seed and it freed all the people who were victim to his greed? Was that God in a suicide or just the devil doing good, if he knew it or not? See, it all comes around like sex on a turnpike. Dark turns light when the moon's bright. Who's right, devil or God, man? It's all for a reason. You never like the weather if it never changed seasons. It's all for the good of things. Learn to tie a knot from tripping on your shoestrings. Red will turn green when your mood swings. Does it really matter what changed the color of your mood ring? Are you harder to bring my fire? Devil, I see truth in the speak of a liar. Devil, God, are you harder to bring my fire? Devil, I see truth in the speak of a liar. Devil, truth in the speak of a liar. Would it be worth it if the world was perfect? Would it make a chick take an apple from a serpent? I assert that joy feels best after hurting. That's why a cut wrist is an escape for a person. An escape for a person to vacate as a person. Helps us love life when home base isn't working. It's a balance of hurt, lies and joys, demons. You can't appreciate their help without the bleed. Hell's perceived to give a reason for the heavenly. Just like a beat gives a reason for a melody. Greens for your celery, lies are for your newscast, reds for your heartbeat. The truth is you'll lose that. So live faster, time's an assassin. Life's a damn bully, so stop living passive. Love life's bitter sweetness from the vine, cause you're still gonna age when you whine. Are you harder to bring my fire? Devil, I see truth in the speak of a liar. Devil, God, are you harder to bring my fire? Devil, I see truth in the speak of a liar. Devil, truth in the speak of a liar. Where's my soul? I wanna behold it, for I never sold it. Is it in between my eyes where my skull is, or is it somewhere dormant? Forward somewhere beyond the senses. For if we never learn to see it, then our mind will never sense it. But still, I ponder its inner workings. Head out to church and ask God where my soul is lurking. And if responsive, he'd probably say the body's just a cockpit, and we're all going down like drunks when they're nauseous. But do fixes of substances help us find ourselves, act as maps of our consciences? Or to the honest, is this just an excuse to get high above the lows that we're used to instead of choosing death? I'm not afraid of that, cause it's all natural, like birth. But I wonder what was before this debacle, before the womb, where the Kite loom, and whom decided who or what body I'd bring to the tomb. Assume we were aloof before life, just so chillin'. They wanted to get high feeling, so we took some shit, 28 grams of it, then started tripping. And this is what the damn trip is, a drug-induced illusion of movement. And we'll wake up soon when death strikes like it's bowling down the alley and the pins are losing. So who's in charge of your mirage? What facade do you decide to adopt upon you leaving your garage, cause all of us wear masks and costumes to try to be a part of some clique or creed that we believe we belong to. But so long do it all, and it's long overdue. I threw my mask away like I do when October's through. Is your soul so gross that it repulses you? Turned a mask so the damn world can't assault you. Some say it's 21 grams, but I'll say it's 28. Your souls are bought and sold like coke are the same way. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, angel-headed hipsters, burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene oaths on the windows of the skull, who cowered in unshaven rooms and underwear, burning their money in wastebaskets and listening to the terror through the wall. How? As I sit and ponder living death, smoking cigarettes, I wonder if my shit's hot like a summer trip. I'm done with it. Expectations can suck dick. That's some punk shit. If I cared, then my art couldn't function. People care too much, giving two fucks about thumbsuckers' opinions when they matter none. We are who we are, victims of fate's hands. You're tripping about race when all our souls are 28 grams. Love can never do what hate can, so hey cool kid, hate society and not the man that it made foolish, that it made ghoulish for products of a system. But I taught you to resist them, so reject your papa's wisdom, cause this a new age like your birthday at midnight, where knives are at fist fights and truth's inside lacks for most windpipes. But we sit tight while women get exploited for the point of selling shit for coins and dollars. And all this honest is darkness that's upon us. Light's gone cause we fear some terrorists might bomb us. Well, that's fear-mongering used by the news to make us feel scared of something when we're 10 years removed. Cause if it's coming from the people we love, then all of a sudden the motherfucking opinion is ours. Like actors plaster the views when broadcasting, then followed by the masses, the vote is what we're all casting. But the fact is most of selfish asses passive, won't give a coin to the dude crashing where the trash is. But for fashion, they'll spend $1,000 on some damn shoes, saying the homeless are wasted. Well shit, look at you and shit's true. So who will look past the pupils and cataracts and change shit like a laxative after this? Become the proactive activist with the innate chance that you could die fighting for your 28 grams.
Hello, people. How we doing? Before we start, I didn't want to stream today at all. Some stuff went down this weekend, and I don't feel fantastic. But gotta keep the show rolling. That's that. So, appreciate you guys very much for being here, as always. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm wearing my blue light blockers that I got from Blue Blocks. These things are actually pretty sick. Alright, they took a little bit to grow on me because I feel like this is a woman's style that I'm wearing. So, I feel a little bit weird about it. But, let me get the camera a little bit larger here. There we go. Alright, let's jump into the TA real quick. Alright, so last night on the Discord, I put out that Ethereum and LTC had put in their lower lows, and they were significant enough for me to realize what I needed to do. So I took the 1729 entry, paying off so far. I took the 6122 entry, which is paying off so far. And in combination, I do believe Yes. Okay. So you can see we had the larger A here on LTC, and then larger A, B, and C. So hopefully this is the bottom. All right, we have ABCA, we just have a fast B, and we have ABCC. All right, a lot of you probably recalled at the beginning, probably like around Tuesday, Wednesday of last week, I was talking about how I did believe that this was going to be an ABCA. We were going to see a B wave. Now, obviously, it was a fast B wave, and this was a fast C wave, so there definitely could be one more drop to the downside, but all in all, I think that's a large enough structure to say that we have some probability of continuing this uptrend. All right. Same thing for Ethereum. Ethereum's in a little bit harder of a situation. It's more like just like a triple bottom off of, like, if you want to call it the 1700 support, because that's the local low. All right, I know someone in the Discord was calling out like parallel channels. I get that mentality, I do. I just don't follow that mentality anymore. All right, for me, it's all horizontals. Horizontals are support and resistance. Diagonals can be used to identify trend, but it's a much larger picture in the grand scheme of things. What might look like a downtrend or a break of trend to you on a smaller time frame could just be the continuation of a trend on a larger one. All right, so for me, as long as we're back above, most importantly, 1773, but on the smaller term time frames, 1731, and on the macro time frames, 1700, I'm still pretty bullish on Ethereum, especially all the way back up to about 2150, which is the next local low, which is where we saw a rejection from in the first place. All right, we got a little bit above it, got rejected, came back down, and this is the following price action that we're seeing coming forward from that. All right. I was fortunate, in the Discord, I said I didn't catch this trade, and when we were sitting right here, I decided to go ahead and try it, considering the fact that if I did get stopped out, my stop loss was pretty much at the entry point, and I could just hop back in and try to get a retry. All right, you can see my stop loss was a little bit below the entry, so I went ahead and took a chance on it. It paid off. Do I do that all the time? No, but all right, what I'm hoping is we saw ABCA here, ABCA, and I'm hoping this is an ABCB, and we should see a C wave. Now, do I think that that's going to be ultimate continuation past 33K? I certainly hope so, but my hopes aren't necessarily super high for that, just because I've been kind of spouting this Adam and Eve structure, looking for the sell-off, the harsh retracement back up, and then a slow sell-off, and then a slow climb. Fishy, get down from there. Do you guys, what does he do? I can't move my camera that much. Get down. He was on top of the couch. Like a cat. Stop. Sit. All right. So I just don't think that this is quite large enough of a structure to say that that's going to turn into an Adam and Eve. That doesn't necessarily have to. That's just what I'm looking for personally. All right, most importantly, from the ABC perspective, I just want to see us get back above 33K and hold it and complete this correction wave. But I do have a feeling that it's probably going to look something like this. We have the uptrend, going to have some continuation, maybe one more rejection, slow sell-off, maybe a return back down to around 28,500, 600, 700, somewhere in that local low region, and then a slow climb back up. And then hopefully that second time that we see us get back above 33K, that's when things can really start to pump up. Probably have a retest of somewhere around 43K to 45K, and then start solidifying some supports in the market over a longer period of time and try to see some sort of sideways movement until the next bull market. All right. I know that there is a chance that we continue to the downside, but for me, I have to look at it in chunks, chronological order of probability. I can't just call something that has no basis at the moment. All right, if we broke 28,800 and we were sitting below it with bearish setups, that's when the probability is to the downside, and I would start calling for numbers like 21, 22, maybe even lower. But at the moment, with us sitting above the major support with bullish setups, you can say, oh, it's the market makers trying to trick you, Mr. Kite. I don't care. All right, this is how I play the market. This is how I maintain sanity, how I move forward with my bias based off of probability, and I can judge my risk accordingly. Of course, I take hedge trades when hedge trades are available. All right, but right now, at this moment in time, there's not. All right, we've taken the short trades and made a good amount off of them. Did it cover all the profit that was on the table before we get stopped out? No, but that is not the purpose of them in the first place. It is to make sure that we cover, most importantly, the initial loss of our stop loss. What are you, the contract that you write up when you enter a trade is you are willing to lose a certain amount. I don't back down from that. I either lose that full amount, or at least I walk away with some sort of profit once the market gives me a new setup in order so I can get out. And if I'm wrong about getting out, I can hop back in with confidence and continue to ride that trend. So let's check out the SPY in the US 100. Looks like we're trying to, solidify support off of this A right here, and that is a very, very good thing to see from the market. Now, there is still a possible chance that we put in a slightly higher high here at 416, all right, above that, and we see a retracement back down, all right, because this is looking kind of like an ABC structure on a little bit bigger of a time frame. Now, it is super thin, so that is something to be careful of. They can be really tricky when they get like that, all right, but us solidifying support on that local low is very significant to me. All right, so US 100. We did see a slight retracement coming off of this ABC pattern here. We do need to get back above 13,000 as always, but it looks like if this is going to find support here, we are going to have a stab at trying to get back above 13,000. We might see a similar thing happen that's happening on the SPY. So I'm fairly confident on the market right now. Like I said, I'm not typically a stickler for metrics. I try to make sure that the information I'm looking at is chart only. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. They go, you can add so much more information and get so much more accuracy. I get that, but for me, it's not about accuracy. It's about sanity. All right, people lose their minds trying to add information to a chart when you can maintain simplicity, enjoy a good win rate, and just cruise. All right, when things don't go your way, but that's the ultimate problem is when you put so much time and effort into something, and you try your best to make sure that it works out in all proper ways, and it doesn't, you feel like you're the problem. You feel like you're like the crack in the egg and everything's falling apart, and you start losing your mind. All right, but if everything's simple and you can identify that it's not your problem, it was simply unlucky, then you can maintain sanity, continue to play the market in the correct way, and move forward with your life. It's the people that spend all their times researching these complicated topics, and when they don't work, they kind of have a mental break. They start doing ridiculous stuff in the market. All right, so that's pretty much it. I have not taken an entry on KDA. I've been, busy this weekend, so I wasn't trying to do a whole bunch of stuff from my phone. I just didn't have the mental capacity to do so, and that's that. But let's bring up the chat. Start talking to you guys. I got all the TA out of the way. And the main reason why I said I do think that I don't think the bottom is in, because that's just not right for me to say from the perspective where I'm sitting. What I will say is that the 1-year hodler rate is at an all-time high. Now, without the halvening, I can't say at the bottom is in and that we're going to continue to climb. All right, because it's the combination of those two factors: the people locking up supply, which creates, supply shock, and the halvening, which causes supply shock again. It's compounding. That causes these bull markets. But with the hodler weight being where it's at, I do think that will signal some sort of stabilization in the market. Sideways, up, down, but not really anything major in one direction. Unless, someone decides that they want to sell billions of dollars. All right. When that time comes, I'm sure we'll see some sort of signal in the market like we tend to do. All right. A lot of people go, you couldn't have seen this dump coming from a mile away. Could I have seen that Luna was going to crash the market? No. But I saw the market preparing for some sort of downside. Who knew it would be so severe? But I was prepared. Luck is preparation meets opportunity. I prepared because price gave me the opportunity to be bearish, and I held my bias because price told me to hold my bias. Some people just don't like to create luck. Thank you, Goof. Appreciate it. I did too, Juno. Especially on BTC. But I did take that chance, and fortunate what it did, but it doesn't always happen. But on Ethereum and LTC, it was deep enough for me to say, okay, I'll take that trade. But the account's currently sitting at 7,074. It's been sitting around that 7K mark for quite a while. We even dipped all the way back down. I think last night before these trades pumped, I think I was at 5,800 again. So it just shows you how much something can change in a little bit of time. How would you start thinking about hedging these long trades right now? We would have to get back above, the most recent highs. So for BTC, that would be 32,436. If we got a higher high and we came back below that resistance, I'd probably hedge there. Ethereum, if we got back above 2013, we put in a higher high, we came back below 2013, I would probably hedge there. And LTC, if we got back above, actually, hold on. Yeah, 2013. LTC would have to get back above 74.41 in order to get me to hedge. Hey Kite, did you hear about a huge number of miners that have spiked up on unloading their BTC? Same thing happened about 2 years ago. They're offloading to cover overhead cost. Yeah, it happens all the time. Because and the thing is being like a little miner myself, I can see the prices and what's happening. I mean, I was making about $2 a day off of my 2080 Ti. Now I'm making about maybe $1.50 on a good day. So I mean, that's 25% loss in profit. So I'm sure there's some extra selling going on, but I think people are buying that up whenever they get the chance. So I think that's what's causing these kind of like back and forth price action waves. But like I said, I'm not a stickler for like why something is happening. I watch the chart. The chart tells me when we should see bigger price moves. It's been pretty reliable. Now, can I call the chop in between? No, but usually the bigger price moves I got a good handle on. What do I think about ICP? Yeah, it did put in a lower low. If you caught that, you can see right here, you can call this our A, you can call this our B, and you can say that we're going to get a higher high C here. Obviously with, it's not a decent, it's a decent trade on an altcoin, right? Because the most important thing is you want to see BTC, Ethereum, and LTC, and what other major altcoins that have higher market cap in some sort of similar position, such as being at their ABC bottoms or in the midst of working out their larger ABCs. Because what tends to happen is the people that make profit off of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other high caps, once those are done theoretically pumping, they can move them into other altcoins that have their setups yet to be really realized. How can I take profit on Bybit without taking margin out of the original trade price? Well, your margin is what allowed you to make the trade in the first place. So if you take the margin out, you know, from that point on, like let's say you take 50% profit, you're gonna make 50% less profit for the rest of the time. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm sorry, man. Now, like, you can add margin that doesn't impact the trade, but that's only like if you're like talking about liquidation and stuff. And I wouldn't advise you to be playing a liquidation strategy. Just not conducive to a healthy mindset, especially when it comes to leverage trading, or at least this strategy here. Hey, Ada's had a good pump so far. Now, Ada is a little bit of a weird structure because you can see we had ABC right here. And we did see a little bit of a retracement. I'm guessing that's back down to like, looks like the 0.618-ish. Yeah, it was about the 0.618, so fair. But, hey, we might be looking for a higher high here. Maybe this is an ABC, ABCC. I want that little movement right here. I'm not a sports commentator, my dude. I don't care if stuff is having crazy pumps. Man, that's insane. A big candle. Look at that. There's nothing I can do with that. So it doesn't really concern me. I've seen a lot of other ABC patterns. I see ABC patterns on everything. AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, S&P, US 100, Australian dollar versus Canadian dollar. I see ABCs on everything, everywhere I go. Do I take every single one of them? No. All right. To me, I stick with what I know. And yeah, if there is an opportune point where everything is lining up properly and the major coins such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all those other coins that are within the top 5 to 10 are lining up in a similar way, and I see this lonely altcoin that has potential, I'll take it. But I need some confluence across the board in terms of how the market wants to move as a whole, because altcoins, they're just so slick. Because of the low volume, you have a lot of slippage. You might plan on losing $15, but you're losing $25, which I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. You get stopped out a lot more. So that's that's slippage plus the extra loss. A lot can happen. You have to be incredibly careful. With BTC and Ethereum, of course I get stopped out just like everybody else, but do I get stopped out 20 times in a row without any market movement? No. It usually doesn't happen. because with the higher volume and more open interest, there's a lot of people that are playing different strategies. And when there's a lot of variety in strategies, there's room for mine to be the winner. If everybody on a specific coin is playing the same strategy, it just takes one person that's not to force the price above or below everybody's stop loss or liquidation points. And boom, we are the catalyst for them making profit in the market going their direction. So that's why I stick to larger coins, because there's a lot more variety in how people are approaching the market. Most people are approaching breakout and trend lines and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's the problem. There's never like a couple setups you could have taken today. All right, ABCs, why they work most importantly is because we're patient and waiting for when the market wants to make actual shifts. All right, not just looking for intraday trades, 5, 10, 15 trades a day. If that's what you're looking for, this is not that. Of course, you can take what I'm teaching and apply it to a smaller time frame. Am I saying that you're going to have success? I don't know, man. It's a very hard call. But, on the US 100, for example, this was the most recent trade setup on the larger time frames. All right, then you had this one right here, ABC. All right, so you could have taken a long here, short here. All right, if you want to go down to a smaller time frame, of course you can. You can go, all right, this is A, this is B, this is C. All right, right here you can say this is A, this is B, this is C. Do what you want with it. But I would focus on only setups of this caliber. Or if like you were to take this one right here, that wouldn't be a bad idea. So either this entry, which they're practically the same, or something like this. I wouldn't focus on too small setups. Where do I see resistance on BTC? I see it at 32,363. If we can put in a higher high than 32,000, we'll say 32,350. All right, if we put in a higher high and we come back down below, that's when I'll take a hedge trade. Be long on the B, stops on an A, hedge and short on A. One of them will break the structure. Sure. I call that battle hedge. Kite, my problem is placing a stop loss. Why? You just place it. Is it mentally a problem? You just place it. For me, I use 1% stop losses. For you can use 2% stop losses. You just place the stop loss and deal with the consequences and reap the rewards when it becomes available. If you use a smaller stop loss, you're going to have to deal with the consequence of possibly getting stopped out more. Maybe not. Sometimes it's a one and done deal, kind of like this one. Right? Sometimes you get stopped out 5 times, but the R&R was a 20. So therefore you got a 15 R&R. Still, obviously, the math doesn't come out to an exact 15 R&R. I know that because as your account is losing money, your risk starts to dwindle as well. So therefore, the actual profit, I get that. I'm just speaking in terms of keeping it super simple. David, what's going on? Yeah, let me do this. I'm trying to turn the camera too. Oh. Said you were late to the BTC trade. I took a similar trade, but have been late by 0.3 or 0.5%, and the limit gets missed. I'm late. How far? For me, like, if I do decide to enter a late entry, let's say we have the A, we have the B, and then the price comes down and does a quick wick past the original A, and it comes back up, and I'm like, damn it, I missed that. If my stop loss, where I take my entry, is at or below the supposed correct entry, I'll give it a chance. That way, if it comes back down to the good entry, I can just hop back in. Now, I can afford that because like my stop loss, like what I'm using usually around like 0.75, 0.9% risk. If I was using like 4% risk for some reason, that's not a good idea because that's just a wasted stop. You have, if you're the higher the risk that you're using, the more accurate you have to be. There's no room for, you know, being slow. The tool I use to mark out ABCs is the ABC correction wave within this little toolbox right here. The question was how, like, where you look at to place the stop loss. I just placed the stop loss. All right. So for me, like, if I have an A and a B and a C, like this, all right, and then it's an upwards facing ABC. All right, I short when we come back below the A. All right, so this is price action moving back below after putting this structure. So I go short once we go back below this line. And I place my stop loss 1% above that line. I don't place my stop loss based off of where the candles were. I just place it based off of where my setup is. Hi, Austin. Hope you're doing well today. Any random Zen thoughts for the day? Nah, I need some time to think about that. Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much. You've completely changed the way I think about trading. I've been trading for years, breaking even. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thoughts on Link? Well, it looks like we had some stuff charted out on Link already. Well, it looks like if you would have went with this ABC setup right here, you would have been sitting pretty. Anyway, you haven't gotten stopped out on that little retest right there. But as it sits on the larger term time frame, you have A, you have B, and right now you have this larger C position. Now, the only way that you would be able to grab a short on this is if it came back down below $7.97. Obviously, you could get a little bit of a earlier entry if you were willing to go with this current trend setup right here, you know, A, B, C. But it is probably much more likely to stay stable if you stuck to the macros with this. But now, if you didn't already catch this long entry from right here, it kind of just left in the dust. Could have caught right here. I like pretty. You making a Midnight Gospel reference? Look at the last red candle on the big move down. I get what you're trying to scream at me, Kick Happy, but I can't predict whether or not this is going to dump again. Alright, I'm sticking with what I think. Alright. Man screaming at me on live chat, not going to change what I do here. Alright. I've stated many times that my bias is to the upside because of the macro. Okay? I will take short hedge trades. Right now, there is none. I get that this was a previous setup, but that previous setup worked out. I'm not taking another re-entry there. If we put in a higher high from 32,400 and we come back below, that would be my new setup right here. Okay? So from there, I can go ahead and take that. It would turn into a larger setup such as this. We have ABCA and then ABCB. Okay, what are your thoughts on Market Cipher in conjunction with the ABCs? I'm sure it can be good in some way if you can find a way to take any sort of guesstimation out of it. Problem with Market Cipher was there's too much room for interpretation. The thing with the ABCs is this is the pattern, and it's either true or false. We're either below or above that line. There is no room for interpretation. With Market Cipher and maybe some other indicators, you can go, well, you know, like the VWAP, you know, is above zero, but the money flow is curving down, and you know, we have a divergence on this time frame, but not this time frame, so maybe there's hope for a long in the long term. You know, there's so much room. All right, but for me, price action's price action, no matter if I go down to the 5-minute time frame or the 1 day time frame. Obviously, the resolution of what's happening changes. All right, but the pattern itself stays the same. It's just you might be able to not see all of it. For example, like if I go down to a 5-minute chart and I zoom out here, all right, I need to kind of move my chart around to get a good perspective on what's happening. But I can say, okay, all right, we have uptrend until right here, all right, and then now I need to follow this downtrend down until it stops. Downtrend stopped right here, and then I need to follow this uptrend until its current peak. And then if I zoom out to a 1-hour time frame, see what I'm saying? Even on the 5-minute time frame, I just need to follow price action. But it does become incredibly hard when you have 6 different indicators trying to find out the rest. Get down from there. My dog has lost his mind since I've been gone. Since you've been gone. I'm pretty sure you've been asked this a million times over, so I apologize. How do you know a B is a B? I don't think you can simply just know, but for example, all right, you can't know. There's always two different possibilities. So let's use this right here for example. All right, we have price action that's coming down in a harsh wave like this. Now we could call that our A wave. All right, as long as we can find where it started from, where it had the last break of trend, which was right here. All right, we can see right here, this is our A wave. All right, now we have a huge jump, which is our uptrend. This would become our B wave. Now, you could have seen that this could have been easily the top of a B wave. All right here, we have A, B, C. All right, so if price action was to go put in a lower low right here, this would have been our B wave, and we would have had a C wave with a lower low. All right, but there's always two options. All right, we could be having a wave into a massive B wave into a C wave. Okay, so right here, you have A, B, and within this B, you had A, B, C. So as long as price action is holding back above this price point, you can assume that it wants to go with the larger structure. Your order of probability now shifts to you want a higher high. Now, if we do happen to come back below this A, this now starts looking like the highest probability. Now, does it mean that it will happen? No, because there can be Adam and Eve double busted bottoms. Now, the main reason why I am a little bit more on the side of the double busted bottom, if we look at something like BTC, for example, all right, when BTC had that same scenario going on, it was floating, okay? So if we're looking at the macro here, the macro only had two major supports and resistances. All right, we're pretending like this price action did not exist over here. All right, and then as time went on, we created this one and this one, okay? So this is the only support and resistance that mattered on the macro chart. So when price action was coming down like this, these are our strongest, this one and this one. All right, these ones are minute, but they're not necessarily strong. All right, so right here we had A coming down, and then we had an uptrend, which could become a B, and we could be looking for a lower low C. All right, but at the same time, right, if we do not put in a lower low, but we have some sort of ABC setup, which we did right here, as long as we hold above that, we can assume that the probability is to put in a larger structure and become a larger structure overall. But the one advantage that this scenario had was it had no macro local low underneath it to catch it. All right, whereas this one over here, all right, we have that same thing going on. We have downtrend, uptrend, and we did not put in a lower low so far. So we can assume that's creating a larger structure, but at the same time, we are pretty much sitting on one of the strongest supports while in that pattern. All right, you can see this one could have used that one in the same way, which I guess you can make the assumption that it tried to right here. All right, but it definitely failed because this is just not that strong of a support whatsoever. It always comes in multiples of threes. All right, so that's why I was assuming that this was going to be a fast push. I was saying it over the course of that month, that if you look at this structure right here, we had ABCA, ABCB, and then we had a fast C wave. There was no ABCC. All right, just like this one. This one was ABCA, ABCB, and then we had a fast C wave. There was no ABCC. I mean, if you want to make the argument that this was the ABC. All right, but in all intents and purposes, it was straight shot. David Tech is a wonderful man. I truly appreciate what he's done for my channel so far. Me personally, like, I never had the ability to put it into a indicator, so I'm glad that he's helping people out, and I hope it's a gateway for people to realize what's the most important thing. All right, strategy is all well and good, but ABCs aren't like the magical strategy. It's a good outline for how all the other stuff falls into place. Of course, I love the fact that ABCs are prevalent. All right, that's a really good plus, but it's how it allows me to structure my mindset and my risk that makes the world of a difference, not necessarily the pattern itself. My one worry though is that people with that indicator are going to go down to small time frames because they're like, oh, I have the help of a robot. I'm going to be able to find out all the ABCs. And I just the smaller the time frame that you go down to, it's harder to be accurate. It really is. Because once again, you have to take all of the information from the macro, the supports and resistances. What macro wave are you in, supposedly? You know, there might be two options. Like I said, you could be in a B wave or in a longer term B wave. It can be, you know, you have to figure out what's your probability for different setups and act accordingly. Most people, they just want to log on, go to a 5-minute chart and go, oh, there's my trade setup for today. So simple. No, it you have to look at everything. And people just aren't willing to do that because it just comes down to laziness. Okay, Cappy, would you have told me the same exact thing? Just get in, get out. You do realize, were you here? I shorted 45,500. All right, this is before anybody was even bearish. This was at the very tippy top right here. I shorted it all the way down to 27 grand. All right, my strategy is not get in, get out. My strategy is hedge what my bias is not, which is a get in, get out strategy, but hold on to what I think the highest probability trade is and milk it for everything it's got. If you keep letting the market bully you and you don't hang on to good trades, your account's not going to see substantial growth in between. There will be times where it's stagnant and things aren't going exactly the way that you want them to. But stay true. Otherwise, I'll see you from my tower. What makes you actually take the entry? Is it just crossing the line? Yep. It's just crossing the line. Thank you for signing up to the Patreon. Appreciate it. Remember, if you guys sign up, just in the description of this video and on the Patreon, it tells you my Discord name. Send a friend request, and then just let me know you signed up. Send me the email attached to your Patreon account so I can verify it. Make sure you are who you are, and then I'll send you a link. Hi Kite, new to this, so you can tell me the potential problems with using BTC 3L USDT. I've never used leverage tokens, my dude, so I can't really comment on that. Not something I'm familiar with at all. I only use just leverage. trade noob. I'm already ahead of you on that game. Alright, it's one of my first videos, my dude. Alright, now if you don't think sugar's a drug, I mean, you're kidding yourself. I was the biggest drug dealer in middle school. I feel like that's gonna be taken out of context and just clipped up. Oh, come on, load. I'm ahead of the game. There we go. Fastest and easiest way to make money in school. Little Kite. Out here with an Android phone, telling you how to make buku bucks in 2014. Selling the sugar. How to determine your target profit. If it's a hedge trade against my main bias, I will just simply take profit at either the 0.5, 0.618, or 0.441, depending on how strong my alternate bias is. So if I am long bias, but I'm taking a hedge short, I think we're super bullish, I'll only take profit at the 0.618. If I think we have a little bit more room to the downside, I'll probably take profit at the 0.5 or 0.382, right, of the A position. All right, so if my ABC is pointed to the upside, such as this, all right, I take the full length of the ABC with my fib retracements from top to bottom, and I'll target, the 0.5, 0.382, which is exactly what we did right here. I took my entry on my short right here, and I took profit at the 0.618. Now, you might be confused on like, well, what about the ones that have bias? All right, so like with my longs here, I don't have a take profit until the market shows me a new place to go long from, like a new place of confidence. I cannot get out of my longs. All right, I want to see a macro bearish setup, and then once we are in that bearish setup and I have my hedge position, I want to see a new place of long to go long from. That way, if I'm wrong about the market moving to the downside, I can always hop back into my longs. Now, I might not be able to hop back up into all of them, but maybe some of them. Okay, are you mainly looking for price action for confluence? Yep, I'm just looking for ABC patterns. I don't use open interest anymore or anything like that. Now, like, of course, I look at it, like when I'm playing altcoins and stuff, if the open interest is too low, then I know I'm in for a bumpy ride, but I'm still willing to play it if I think there's a good chance. But I'm not out here charting open interest anymore. I do look at funding, but funding, like, as long as it's decently, in that relative zero region, there's nothing to be scared of. All right, it's when you see like -2, -3 funding, all right, that you need to be aware of something, or +3, +4 funding. When there's true imbalances in the market, all right, but people are reading into small shit that doesn't matter. It's kind of weird. Well, I know we're pattern-seeking creatures, but chill, human, chill. Hey, Kite, have you ever thought about swapping the candle colors around to help with trading psychology? No. Because I'm an equal opportunity trader. Red candles aren't bad, green candles aren't good. They're all the same thing. It's just price movement. Yeah, sometimes it does cause me a loss, sometimes it causes me a massive win. It's just the way the wind blows. There's no reason to be upset over what color caused me pain or joy. It's just weird. But I'll be heading off soon. Like I said, I just need some time to decompress after weekend. I'll probably be on the Discord, just chatting. But that's pretty much it. I know the market's been choppy. I haven't really had any decent wins past week or two. I mean, we had the short trade, and of course we accidentally took profit on our long trade, but besides that, it's kind of just been bleh. So we're waiting on the big tickets, and it still might be a little bit before that time comes, but hopefully not. Hopefully we see some good price movement over the next couple of days/week. What if the confident place never came? Then I'm stuck. I'd rather have security than profit. Is your Discord that number? Well, my Discord name is Kite #2136 with a capital K. That's how you add me as a friend. Now, the only way to get into the Discord is through the Patreon, though. I've had a couple people reach out and think that it was just a public one, but it's not. Play some white guy rapping music, close it out. I used to play the guy's music last year. Are you talking about Whit Lowry or who are you talking about? I was going to play, well, I guess we played enough Kai Straw for today. Someone was like, that's conscious rap. I feel like conscious rap is like, trying to promote PC stuff. That dude's gritty. If you listen to what he's actually saying instead of just judging it. That's all I'm saying. What's really cool is like he's like a Venus flytrap. Kai Straw, he lures you in with all like this pop music that you would normally listen to on a day-to-day basis, but you go back in his discography and there's this one album that kind of lays everything out for you. And it's almost like his Bible pretty much. Like what his philosophy is on life, and it's just pretty cool that he created this thing and then started immediately afterwards, about 5 years later, just putting together like traditional songs so that people would find him and come back to that album thinking that it's just his regular music. Let's see. All right, I got a song picked out. I appreciate you guys very much. Let's do the thing, and we'll be heading out. I might be on tomorrow. I might not be. Tomorrow is what? Wednesday, so I'll try my best to keep on schedule because that is a Wednesday. If it was a Thursday or a Tuesday, I probably would have skipped it. But okie dokie. See you guys shortly. Bye.
Yeah. I hate it when you're here, but you're not here. Hate it when you're friends from the old peers. Hate it when you talk, but you don't hear. Hate it when your energy feels weird. Last time I think I laughed, it was last year. Made more money last month than the past year. When everything feels fake, only facts here. I remember working back as a cashier. Simple at times, I would spend 3 weeks till the page is empty. They hang on every word I fucking say. Well, I appreciate you, wait for my perspective. Gotta keep it real, there's something else in play. Something I can't explain, yeah. Like the lyrics I find in my mind will put in my brain, damn. Is it really that deep? Maybe it's me. Then one day I came across what the Romans believed, and even the Greek. You see, they believe we create from our genius, not in our genes. That got me to think about rappers who claim that they're more than just human. Promote what they pour in their drink, what's making me think I needed a substance to create with something that wasn't in me. But pardon me, please, fuck all that nonsense. I believe that my music is bigger than me, if I'm being honest. And I think that it's slave for an artist to claim they're a god or a goddess, because that type of thinking is silently killing off all of our artists. All the industry profit filling their wallets. Damn. Feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. While I focus on making the music, you don't need your hands to feel. Is it fair when we follow our passion, we barely can land a meal? In an industry where they can take, they don't need hands to steal. They told me go get a degree. We're stupid for following dreams. Your job is to push me to think and say you just heard in the sheep. I spill out my soul in the eat. I told them I need to pursue what I love. If not, then I'm making this money for what? Buy shit from a brain led by someone that does. I needed to find out who I really was now. They would never get it. Said I couldn't do it, so they were sure when I did it. They never could see the vision, they never wanted me winning. I never needed opinion, I never was one to fit it. Too fast to follow along, then I bring it back in a minute. I take the beat for a trip and I bring it back when I'm finished. I see my room as a womb and I better grow while I'm in it. I'm living, but am I living? I can't even tell the difference. Since the last 4 lines, it's been about 1 week. Anxiety hit me real hard, and I think I've been sacrificing my own mental to prove the potential in me with the music they see. Cause the more that I'm making, the more that they need. The more that I'm open, the more that I bleed. The more that they're lying, the less I believe. The more that I please them, the less that I'm me. I've been back and forth daily. Am I even making art? Did the art make me? No wonder why I'm feeling lost lately. Do they hate the art? Do they really hate me? They're so negative on the daily. But I don't need your help. To me, I'm twice as mean. Yeah, I'm twice as mean. It's seeming like your dream is really only taking shots at my self-esteem, motherfucker. You question why you should care. Like this don't affect what I do. But maybe, just maybe, if you change your thinking, then you will find you start believing in you. You see, as a human, you're made to create, not just sit at a desk with some paper and glue. And maybe, just maybe, we do have a genius. So all of the blame and the praise is for two. Damn. So who am I when the world tells me who I should be? Look around, you'll see ideas are essential as air and sleep. Everything you see, it came from the mind of a human being. That's mind-blowing. You're not your mistakes and the fears you think. And I think I need to pray and take care of myself more. Deep hidden in my mind's where you'll find peace of mind. Four.
I'm destined for better things, and I'm trying to better me. I've been finding better days, but I'm finding everything changes. Everything changes.
Yeah. It's summertime in CT around 8:45. The music loud, the windows down, past Never's Road while I drive. Gambino bumping through the system, those were simpler times when things were perfectly imperfect and my music wasn't easy to find. Back when I still could call my dad one more time. Back when I still could call my grandpa till dementia started taking his mind. So many times I took for granted our time. To say I was a perfect son or grandson, to keep it real, I'd be lying. I wanna try to be better. I wanna give more than I take. I miss our moments together. I try to learn from my mistakes until I'm better than ever. I try to turn my pain to paint. Is this a song or a letter? because the two just feel the same. I saw my exes now engaged just yesterday, and I smiled. I hope you finally found the love you were searching for a while. Hope they take an inch and give you a mile. If everything that went wrong had went right, might be a whole different now. Think I'm too busy posting pictures of our sold out shows that I forgot about the people and the love back home. The ones who championed for Mark when it was much less known, and now I barely even answer my phone. Damn.
I'm destined for better things, and I'm trying to better me. I've been finding better days, but I'm finding everything changes. Everything changes.
Yeah, it's winter time in Amsterdam. Team Wit is waiting outside. Songs recorded in my closet, now they wanna see live. Then comes inside, I say, can you believe we're here? Or that there's even a line. He laughs and says, of course, imagine us working a 9 to 5, that's no lie. Whilst your degree will put you deeper in debt, your student loan just seems to grow, and now it's more than your check. How can you plan to see the world if you're just stuck at a desk? How can you calculate success by the results on a test? I digress. Sometimes I have to just admit I'm a mess. Don't try to try harder for someone who's not trying their best. You used to say I wasn't no one, and now you're the first to text. No longer holding on to grudges. Forgive, but I don't forget, can't change the people around you, so change the people around you. Hold on to those who care, let go of the ones that doubt you. It's crazy what can change, navigate in this world without you. I just hope when you look down, you're proud too.
I'm destined for better things, and I'm trying to better me. I've been fine.